Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'd like to talk today about the vertical axis of the heart as compared to the horizontal axis of light, the light of your being. The nature of pure heart is pure love. The nature of pure love is the healing of humanity. The shift from the experience of being separate to the realization of oneness in God's creation, the celebration, the beauty, the all-inclusive nature of this love, and it is so huge when you realize the oneness instead of the personal feeling falling away. It intensifies because everything is living inside of itself. And all of the unique flavors are felt with such passion. Passion is the grace of creation and the healing of the suffering of separation lives in the heart. When there is the receiving of pure unconditional love, that which created the illusion of being separate, which was born out of the experience of the lack of love, is bathed and healed. And it is so beautiful. And the horizontal movement of the heart, meaning it plays along the earth plane, the human experience, is of equal importance as the light that is the vertical plane that pulls the attention away from everything but itself. For in the light there is only light. In the heart there is the embrace, the welcoming, the passion for all human suffering. And the passion for for all of the imperfections of humanity ignites the heart. It ignites the heart into this incredible beauty. But there is also great challenge because the open heart welcomes all suffering, and all suffering is rooted in a sense of being isolated and separate, and its healing is in the recognition of the unconditional love in the human plane of existence. It is all equally divine. The heart, the horizontal plane, and the vertical plane fortify each other. Fortify each other. In the earlier stages of spiritual evolution, the most courageous voyage is with the heart. So many try to access the light to get away from human suffering. And this cannot give you what you really want. You are here to heal the illusion of separation, which is rooted in the identity of the separate one that is built out of protection because of the experience of the loss of the complete emergence in the light that is your nature. What is typical is to go for the light, try to get away from all of the human complexities, try to stay away from what the mind has told you is painful. But the pure heart receives all of this. It is the greatest challenge in the journey. And it offers the most exquisite passion for all of humanity, whether it is recognized as the oneness of love or whether it is completely lost, it is all welcomed. There is a sense that my purpose is here, that I would never leave my beloveds and jettison myself into the ethers, but I would stay here with every last being that is suffering because of the passion of the heart that welcomes everything that has been lost. This is probably 85% of the work. And then there is this final piece, which is the recognition of the light that you are. The light is not in the play of human conflict. The light is not the holding of human suffering. This is the job of the heart. The light is your true essence. the heart you have come here in service out of the love for the beloved, to be in support for all of God's children who have forgotten who they are, and the willingness to be there in that intensity because of the passion for all humanity. And the passion actually ignites the light because it's all one. What is eventually discovered is that humanity and divinity are one. In the area of humanity, there has been a great deal of forgetfulness, great deal of suffering, chaos. But the open heart receives the chaos. It receives the suffering because it is in love with itself and would not abandon any of these beautiful beings. The nature of the divine is that it is searching for itself. It's searching for the lost aspects of itself, and it will do anything. So the lion's share of the work lies in meeting your humanity, lies in meeting what has forgotten, lies in the willingness to receive. And once the receiving is recognized to be the receiving of pure, unconditional love, the sense of separation begins to dissolve. It happens by itself. The passion to remain in the battle of separation takes priority over the pull for my own emergence into the light that is untouched by anything. This is purity. This is devotion. This is what brings forth all the passion. And then there is the light of your nature. It is never to search for the light of your nature. The light of your nature reveals itself in your purity to live as the heart on the horizontal plane where there seems to be so much chaos and distress. The willingness to be with your brother and your sister in any way possible, for them to realize the unconditional nature of the love is there and alive and vibrant, but it requires such intense work because it requires facing all of the misunderstandings. And the primary misunderstanding is the creation of a separate identity. The love does the work. The love is the essence. The love is the passion. The love is the grace of creation. The willingness to open into the oneness, even when there is pain involved, is the passion of the pure heart. But eventually there is a discovery, not from searching, but it just reveals itself. That the nature of what you are is pure light. It is the vertical trajection into the absolute taste of Brahman, where there is nothing but light and beauty. When your human traumas are bypassed in the attempt to access this light, something is missed. The passion of God's creation is missed. The passion that actually ignites the light is missed. But in the feeling of the light that is your fundamental nature, the omnipresent taste that cannot be defined, the ecstatic beauty, the celestial beauty of the light reveals itself to be what you have always been. You came here to support your brother and your sister who are lost. First, you come here to support yourself that is lost, because everybody is born into this play with the loss of the recognition of pure unconditional love. Has nothing to do with doing, it has nothing to do with situation. It is just the love for your humanity. When your humanity is loved completely, it is divinity. It is the union, whether it's the union of close friends who are really sharing something of great value, or the unity of all of consciousness. It's really the same. The work of the heart, this is the seva, this is the offering you have come into this dream to do, to lay the blanket of pure love on what has forgotten its nature, the willingness to imbibe the suffering because it has forgotten its nature. But when this willingness is complete, what eventually reveals itself is the pure light, the centerless, pure light of being that has eternally been untouched and is in no relationship with anything but itself. These are the latter stages. In this stage, what is required is the letting go of every single thing that has caused an identification of the separate one, whether it is based on some action or some activity or some situation It is the release, the readiness to release all of it and to take your seat in the light of Brahman, which cannot be explained. And yet the light of Brahman and the heart of God, which is happening in the horizontal plane, healing and taking in everything, are not separate. They feed one another. They feed one another. One is the passion of creation, the passion of meeting the suffering, the passion of being support for what is hurting, which ignites the light of consciousness. And the light of consciousness is infinite. It's infinite. It's the infinite beauty. Your nature is the infinite beauty. The challenges in the human play are not separate from this. It is the work you have come here to be in service for. If someone is hurting and there is a sense, I will not leave this hurting being because of the love. This is the purity of heart. It's the healing. It opens the door all by itself into your original nature, which has nothing to do with the world. It has nothing to do with anything in particular. It only has to do with the light of its own being, which is so refined and sensitive and alive and beautiful. But the human condition is to strive for this, to get away from suffering. This is the common error. You have come into this plane with the potential of the ripening of the heart that welcomes every single thing the same, because every single thing is the same. There is that which has forgotten, and there is that which has not forgotten. We have come here to be in service to what has forgotten. And this is the lion's share of the work. But when you are pure and true, when it is not about me, but it is about being the support for all suffering, realizing that it is imaginary, but at the same time, the willingness to take it in. Because taking it in is love, taking in what feels like there is no love. Where in truth, all there is love. And then the heart chakra falls into or accelerates or ascends into the crown chakra, which opens the doorway into the infinite space of Brahman, the infinite space of Brahman. It is not to look for anything. The divine is organizing everything. Everything that created suffering that caused the forgetting of who you are. It's all replicated in this wisdom so that pure love can receive what believed it was unlovable. And all need of protection falls away. And the oneness in God's creation of all of the flavors ignites this passion and this beauty, which then by itself pulls the attention back into its original nature, which is eternally unchanging, which is pure ecstasy that no individual can report, because your nature is the pure light of God, the pure light of God. So on the one hand, I can say, I love all of you so much. I would do anything for you because I love you all so much. Your humanness is so precious. And at the same time, this love is the remedy for everything. It is the healing of everything. It is what brings forth the seeing that humanity and divinity are not separate. One is the passion of love itself, and the other is the ascension into an arena for which there is no language, but is your nature. So let us all sit in the beauty, no matter what is playing. If challenge is playing, it is receiving what you came here to receive. If a loved one is hurting, it is to receive the hurt without the story of something wrong, but just feeling the love of the connection, which is the healing, which ignites the passion, which then explodes into the light, which is your original nature. So let us sit together. Let us sit together in celebration. Let us sit together in challenge. Let us sit together in turbulence. Let us sit together in the beauty that is holding all of it, organizing all of it, carrying all of it for your return to yourself, which in truth you have never left. Thank you all for satsang.